Ladies and gentlemen, this is our budget meeting, the last budget meeting before the first reading of the budget in November. I'd like to again remind you that the draft that we just received is confidential. It's considered a worksheet, and the next public viewing of this will be after we advertise it for viewing of the public, and we'll do that at November's election. I know where my mind is, November meeting. I'd like to once again thank Marcy and Laura. As Doug is aware, and many of you I've talked to, I've made a lot of changes up and down to the budget because I was concerned over how much overage we were at. So some of the items briefly that was changed on the expenditures was the solicitor was decreased, materials under the municipal building, the sewer, which I end up going back and increasing after we got the notice from Chester Water saying they were increasing it by 14%. Capital purchases, we also changed the part-time police salary after a lengthy discussion with Chief McKeown. That was brought up to $80,000, as well as his ammo. He felt the cost of ammo was up, and that was increased to $2,000. Recreation events, you're still at the $6,500, so that did not change. Woodlot services, Doug, initially it was $5,000, it was brought back to $10,000. So my concern was the trees in the woodlot that may come down over the winter months, and you also wanted to do mulch and a few other things in case we don't get any grant money.
We went over this year, but we will not go over next year.
Yeah.
So, and we haven't in the last decade, but with the Emerald Ash Borer, with the storms, with a bunch of stuff like that, we just had to. But almost everything's been abated, so we should be. So thank you, but we should definitely stay.
You're welcome. As everybody is aware, if it's not used in the budget, it just stays in the pot. So that's something that if you go over budget, please don't, but if you do, maybe somebody else is under budget. Unpaid bills for the prior year was increased as a thought because of the insurances. We don't have the assessment from the county. Is it not due until November 1st?
November 15th.
November 15th?
If I call on the 14th, sometimes they'll tell me over the phone. So I will do that.
Well, they gave us a wrong number last year, right?
They
Last year,
increased our assessment last year too high, which showed that we had too much.
So I think the year before they were completely wrong.
I think the year before they didn't back out the exempt total, so everybody's assessment was higher than it actually was.
Correct.
I revised those letters shortly after.
You will see that, and I hope there's no surprises in this one. Our budget income is going to be, and this is the first time this has happened to our borough, $2,076,673. So I've never seen a $2 million budget. Our total expenses equal out, so we have a balanced budget unless somebody wants to make changes. Marcy, Laura, and I, again, went through, decreased things based on the reports that we get monthly from our treasurer's team, and then increased some that we thought may be too low. Again, I want to reiterate Chester Water, and of course, if Chester Water has an increase, you're going to see an increase in Delcora. So one of the things that was increased was the water, especially for the shop. The main topic tonight, unless anybody has any questions, I know several of our members need to leave, is the trash. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I believe we were short on the trash.
I'm working on pulling it up now. I'm sorry, I was running in right at 7 o'clock. I think, so the trash fee remains at $490 in the budget, and I believe that it would need to increase by $60, and I will check that. as soon as-
60?
To cover. if
Okay,
that's-
to cover it. So council will need, and I can contact our solicitor for December, prior to December's meeting. We will have no, as long as everybody's okay, with no tax increase for property. Again, go through these figures. If you see something in question, please say so. I'm sure Laura and Marcy are glad I'm not emailing with 404.111 up at 40,000, 400.22 down at 1,000. So I'm sure they're tired of me doing that.
We don't mind one bit.
You guys did great. So we're looking at, Marcy, do you have a total of what we're going to be short for trash next year?
Yes, I do.
I have something like 40,825, but I don't know that that's accurate. Just look.
I'm so close, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, so I have us short by $30,955, so just.
Would you repeat that, please?
$30,955 would be the deficit on trash. If we remained at 490, we're still assuming 836 units to be built. I don't know if there's been any fluctuation there. Expected collections at 95%. Which is $389,158. And we're carrying forward sort of a rough estimate for delinquent of $15,000, which would give us $404,158 of revenue. And we're assuming trash collection fees of $435,113, which creates a deficit overall of $30,955.
So we're looking at, if we bring it up to 32,000 just to round it out, we'd be looking at $38.28 a house increase. Is that what you get?
I'm showing 60 here, and I'm just thinking what I'm gonna have different. Oh, it's because of the collectability, I think, because we're assuming 95% collectability. Although that might.
5% might not.
That math
No,
might not
that's,
math.
no.
So we need to add 5% to that 30,000. 32.
Oh, sorry, the 30,000 already includes that 5% on
Mhm.
collectability. You said to add to each person's trash fee 30, what was your number?
I'm saying 32,000
Oh,
would
yeah.
give you that difference in the delinquents.
Got
And
it.
that should balance out the trash. Am I
Okay.
close?
It's got to be close because we have 900 houses and
Well, we've
30
got
divided by 1,000.
834
Yeah.
billables. If we plug in 32,000, will that make the trash fee even?
So 32,000 would cover the deficit, so that would be 32,000 divided by, I have 836 units.
Okay.
Yes, okay, $38.28.
How about we round it to $38.50? Doug?
That sounds fantastic. And
Okay.
it is still nice to have that magic, take the trash to your curb and it just.
Our trash, I've got to say that we're one of the few communities that all year round does 2 pickups for regular recycling every single week and bulk trash. Many of our communities, starting in the fall until spring, they only do 1 pickup and only do the 2 in the summer hot months. So I think our residents,
I mean, what I've noticed over time that we've been recycling, that really a Friday pickup could be nothing but recycling. Just the volume, and then people that throw parties that got paper plates or something stinky. You know, Tuesday pickup could be trash. And I don't want to tip any of the boats, but people that are actively recycling, and if we had to start looking for something in the future,
gotta be.
every week, Tuesday's trash because weekends tend to create stinkier trash, and and then Fridays being.
I know the community was very active with vocal choices when we took a survey about recycling. And I get it. Michael, like I asked you at the council meeting, is it up or down? And you said down. I'm not so sure that we can't cut back to recycling twice a month again. But there's got to be some way to, when the future councils negotiate a new contract, to close up some of this, because it's a lot of money.
I'll be honest with you, our volume of recycles is twice what it is for, and I'm by no means like, if it's a jar, jars weigh a lot more. If
They
it's
weigh a lot.
Plastic.
I can run a recycling campaign in the newsletter too. How it helps. If you want to keep it the way it is, then please start recycling.
Good idea. Put that in the next newsletter. Marcy, so you're okay with us bringing in that 32,000, and that'll even out the trash?
Yes, so the trash fee will be $528.50. Would you rather it a round number, or are you okay with it?
Yeah, that's 50 cents is fine.
I'm okay with the 50 cents,
That's
but,
round enough.
I mean, I don't know what council wants to do.
And can you give me an idea what our projected carry forward is if everybody somewhat holds the line for the next 60 days?
Say that a different way.
How much money will we have on hand at the end of the year?
In the total general fund?
I do think we should probably, and this is, maybe not here or there, but at some point, raise the part-timers for police up a little bit more. And I was just kind of curious if we were going to have enough to have that conversation. So maybe somewhere around the negotiations and a few things like that. But it really isn't a huge amount of money as far as that, but it would be nice to be able to get people that want to come here. That's the bottom line.
Well, future council next year, you'll be going into an FOP negotiation situation. I think that's something that the future council should talk about. And by June, as a matter of fact, Chief McKeown and I had this conversation the other day. By June, as you know, Doug, we'll know where the money is and how it sits, and that's when you start negotiation anyhow. And I would strongly suggest that council institute a no-spend policy next year, and also to continue with the $500 limit spending without approval of council. If you look at the budget, it is very tight to avoid our residents not to have a property tax increase next year. So last year, we had unfortunately to raise property and trash, and I believe we're at 9.9 mils. So I just think it's relevant for the future council to be extremely frugal.
It's an expensive little 1 square mile.
And
2
this is
million
the
is
first
an
time, as everybody
expensive-
knows my longevity here, and this is the first time we're looking at a $2 million budget.
I remember the $1 million budget.
When we hit 1 million, it was like,
I remember, it was
oh.
people standing on desks. And I haven't even been here that long, and to have it double, kind of wild.
Does anybody on council have any questions on some of the, and I can go through all the deletions and increased amounts if anybody has any questions.
No, you should be applauded. You did a great job. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you guys all worked together. It was beautiful.
We did good.
This year, I was a little out of the loop just between, just working nonstop, so I just get to peek in and be like, all right, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. And again, the future council has to remember, and I'm on my soapbox again, 35 to 40% of our residents are seniors and or disabled. So it's very important to hold that budget and not say, gee, we're over 127,000. No, we need to look at what we need to decrease and where. So.
Yeah, it's not people cutting out Starbucks.
No.
And that's not, that every once in a while you hear things like that, and it's like, no, this is it. You understand what I'm saying.
No.
Not everybody has a ton of discretionary income, and this year was a huge blow. I noticed it personally. My wife lost her job after 27 years.
Well, I don't want to, here we go again on the soapbox, but Delaware County raised our property taxes for this year.
Yeah.
Everybody got hit hard. And then, of course, we did. So no one knows what the county budget is for next year because they're not sharing. So it was really relevant for us to toe the line and keep it close.
Yeah.
So I think we've done that.
Thank you.
So, again, I can go through some of the cuts that we made, some of the increases, as I mentioned. We'll start out the year with the prior year unpaid bills. We've increased that to 40,000. And anybody have any questions? I'd be happy to answer.
So for the recreation, it did get cut by 200, which is fine.
I'm sorry?
Recreation, it shows that this year it's 6,700, next year it's 65.
On the new one we just got tonight, it should be 65. We did not cut recreation.
Well, then recreation is 67.
Wait a minute. No, if you're looking at 450.450 Recreation Committee, you're still at 6,500.
Right here it says 67, then, well, for this year we have it at 6,700. Next year is 6,500.
65 it's been.
Okay.
The only time we increased it is we had our centennial and we allotted 10,000 that year.
Okay.
So, and you'll see capital outlays for recreation. There's 2,000 in there. It's rarely used, but
Oh, yeah.
it's
Well, we
sort of
always
like a
had
little
that with-
padding thing if you have an emergency.
Okay.
There's some emergency spots. But again, one of the things that our treasurer's team, we've talked about is the health insurance increase. It's going to be at least 8% from what I understand. So we need to at least make sure some areas are good to compensate for that. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say they're cuts. They're just went line by line, and if historically people were at 70% of the budget, why not balance it a little bit? So I don't think there was anything that was draconian as far as like services are going to be. No resident's going to notice anything.
No, there shouldn't be. Some of the things were cut by $1,000, some $2,000. Initially, the part-time police were cut, and then Laura, Marcy, and I had a little extra money from all my cuts. It was like, what do you mean we have extra money? No, we're not allowed. So we did increase several things. One of them bringing the part-time police up to 80,000. Chief McKeown, as I said, wanted ammo a little bit more money. So we increased a few things, cash on hand for next year. And what we did cut, there was one expense that was a duplicate, 413,200 was to be removed because it was actually a duplicate of 413,90, and that was $3,200. So we hadn't picked that up. So that was removed, so that that saved $3,200 right off the bat. So I'll get in touch with Mr. Wills because we're not increasing taxes. A resolution would be necessary just to have the proper paperwork saying that we're breaking even this year. There'll be no increase. As far as the tax trash fee, I will let him know that we'll need an ordinance to bring that up to $32,000 next year. Again, it's an average of $38.50 a household. I'm not sure what that breaks down to, but it's minute. $3.21 a month. So that's not too bad. So unless we have no public this evening,
What do you got for us, Theo?
you know, Theo, any questions? Be happy to answer. We're working on, again, this is confidential. I will fill Bob in the morning to make sure everything we need that's appropriate for the advertisement and such for November will be scheduled, and also Mr. Wills to let him know. So, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, these are still private until they've been voted on, so it's not to keep anything from people, it's just, you don't want anybody to be like, well, I see here.
And again, legally, these are our worksheets. They are not under the right to know. The Ethics Commission has said many times that these are not under the right to knows. And they're confidential until they're actually read for the first time at the November's meeting. And then we make a motion to have them advertised and posted. Then they become a public document. Until then, it's just us. So, anybody have any questions, concerns? I thank everybody for coming this evening. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you.
And ladies on this end, I'm going to be a great-grandmother again next year.
That's wonderful.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, I'm very excited.